You're stuck in the Badlands and want to build a starter house. You look around and don't really see much. This desolate landscape has little to no organisms. So, with a limited amount of resources, this is going to prove difficult. But if you've got a passion to impress, then stick around, and I'll show you how to build this awesome starter house. The first thing that I like to do when building is setting out the shape of the build. So first, we will place down 6 stone bricks, and then we will come back 1 block and place down 5 stone bricks. We'll then turn the corner and do another 5 stone bricks and bring it in by 1. We're then going to leave 3 blocks gap and place a stone brick there. Now grab out your dripstone blocks and we're going to make a reverse L shape. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're then going to leave 1 block and do 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can now see the shape of the first 2 buildings, and now it's time to move on to the third. Now the third building actually has a circular shape, and these 3 blocks here are technically a part of it, but we're not building there. We're going to start right here and do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're then going to add 1 extra block to the straight pieces, yet again ignoring that side. Now it's finally time to add some height to this build. We're going to start off with the tower by doing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and doing that all around, except from on these little edge blocks where they're only going to go up by 1. We're then going to finish it off by adding 3 blocks on these straight pieces. Now we're going to move back to the second building by going 1, 2, 3 with the light grey terracotta. We then leave 4 blocks open for a window and go 1, 2, 3 all along the rest of the wall, adding an extra 2 blocks, so then we have a doorway to the third building. Next, we're going to add polished andesite to the top of all of these stone bricks. And now comes the tricky part. The walls on top of the polished andesite are going to be textured. This first section is going to be 3 blocks high, whereas this second section is only going to be 2 blocks. Now personally, when I'm texturing, I like starting off with just 1 single block. This allows me to come back and break the blocks where I want to add some texture. I chose to use andesite because stone requires silk touch to break, and that tends to be a late game enchantment. Now it's a bit difficult to explain how to texture something. On such a small scale, it can sometimes look a bit messy, but that's sort of what we're aiming for. So feel free to use any of the patterns that you can see on screen. I personally decided to use this pattern because it uses a bit more stone, and that creates a bit more of a smoother look. This 3x5 area is where we're going to have our door. So we're going to start by extending this wall by 6 blocks, retexturing the wall a bit, and then adding 2 stone slabs here and here. Now, to make sure that this section feels split off from this section, we're going to extend this top layer out by 5 blocks. Then we're going to connect these 2 walls together, leaving 1 gap for a doorway. We're then going to fill this area in with stone in order to create a roof. Moving back over to the taller section, we are going to add polished andesite in this pattern, leaving a 1 block gap for that doorway and a 1 block gap here for a window. We're then going to complete it by adding 1, 2, 3 stone bricks and 1, 2, 3 stone bricks on the other side as well. We're going to create a rectangle of dripstone blocks in order to connect all of these walls together. And we are now going to add acacia slabs on the inside. Moving back over to the first building, it needs a roof. Now, unlike the other 2 roofs, this roof is going to have a gable roof, and we're going to create that shape by doing a block, a slab, a block, a slab, and a block. Next, we're going to go down by half a slab and add an eave, repeating this on the other side. We're also going to extend it across this polished andesite part of the wall and on this other side, but we're going to add a block here. We're going to leave a block, and then we are going to finish it off by placing another slab there. And now it's time to come back through and texture this. We're going to do this by replacing the granite slabs with a mixture of granite and polished granite, and the blocks of granite with granite and terracotta. Yet again, this texturing is down to you, but I decided to use this pattern here. These 2 flat roofs are also going to be used as balconies. We are going to add a polished andesite edge to both of them. For the second layer, we're going to start the polished andesite here and bring it round and stopping right there. We're then going to leave a 3-block gap and start it again here, placing a polished andesite block here, continuing on with the polished andesite slabs and placing a polished andesite block here. Just like the first building, this third building is also going to have some texture. But first, let's lay out the shape. Create this shape, which is a 3x4 rectangle with a singular block on top, and then repeat it on all 4 sides. I personally decided to use this pattern, but it is completely up to interpretation. Also, leave 2 blocks here open for a door. Now come along with andesite or stone stairs and add them to the top parts of these shapes. Add 4 pillars to the corners of this structure and then connect them together at the top. Come back through and texture it with terracotta however you wish, and then replace these 4 blocks here with a granite slab on the top side. Now bring back the polished andesite and create a ring along this granite and terracotta. We're going to add an extra 5 blocks to each side, just like so. On this inner ring, we are going to get our grey terracotta and go up 3 blocks. We're then going to reselect our polished andesite blocks and add them along all sides here and here, connecting them all together with polished andesite slab. On the edges of the polished andesite blocks, we are also going to add polished andesite slab. Then, using cobblestone walls, we are going to connect the upper ring to the lower ring. We're now going to repeat the same circular shape that we've got down here and repeat it up here using the same texture that we used here. Another difference between this top circle and the bottom circle is that this circle is going to be slightly bigger. So get 5 blocks and add them to each of the corners. Now place 5 extra blocks along the side. Just like last time, this texturing is down to you, but I decided to use this pattern here. On top of these polished andesite blocks, we are going to add the granite slab. Next is going to be the more difficult part. Start by adding 3 andesite walls and extending it out by 1 block at the top. Then, in the corners, add 3 andesite walls. The pattern should look like this. We're now going to get our cyan stained glass and add them in these areas here. And in order to connect the cyan stained glass to the andesite walls, add some cyan stained glass panes. It should look like this in all 4 corners. Next, select your smooth stone block. We're going to be following this same shape that we've got below. Now fill the interior of this circle. We're now going to go back to that same granite and terracotta mix. On all of the smooth stone blocks, add some granite. I decided to use this pattern here. We're now going to add a 7x7 square. This is the pattern I decided to go for. And then finally, add a 3x3 square on top. I decided to use this pattern. We're now going to reselect our polished andesite slabs and create another eave going round the outside of the smooth stone blocks. And that is the building almost complete. Firstly, let's add in some windows by getting our light grey stained glass pane. We're going to have a curved one here, and we're going to place one more here. Now, come inside the building and add 3 stripped acacia logs here, 3 stripped acacia logs here, and connect them together with a stripped acacia log here. We're now going to fill in the floor with acacia planks. Finish it off, we are going to place an acacia door here, another acacia door just up here, and a final acacia door just here. Now select your stone and add a floor just here. Next, grab your acacia logs and add 2 here. Follow the dripstone blocks and add iron bars, leaving a gap for the doorway and a gap for some acacia stairs right here. We're then going to place a cobblestone wall here and a cobblestone wall here. If you'd like, you can add a polished andesite slab here, but I chose not to. On top of this acacia log, we are going to add a cobblestone wall and an iron bar. Add another cobblestone wall here, and cobblestone walls connecting this andesite block to the ground. We now move to the top of the tower, where we're going to add 3 acacia logs here, 2 cobblestone walls here, and 2 cobblestone walls here. On top of the cobblestone wall, add a piece of cyan terracotta, and another cobblestone wall, a repeater on the other side. To connect the cyan terracotta to the acacia log, we are going to use acacia fence gate. On top of the acacia log, add 2 cobblestone walls and an iron bar. You can add a redstone torch here, but I chose not to. Next, we're going inside the tower. Grab out some acacia stairs and follow this pattern. Adding an acacia block right here. Now go back to the bottom and add 2 acacia trapdoors and follow this along the staircase. We're now going to create a ring with the acacia trapdoors. Add an acacia trapdoor here and an acacia trapdoor here. Return to the outside and with your acacia trapdoors, go into these corners here and add 2 acacia trapdoors facing downwards. I chose to do this because I think it adds just a slight tad of color, but the choice is yours. Next, select some acacia fences and add 2 on each side, just like so. Now, come to the side of the building. Reselect your stripped acacia log and go 3 up with an acacia stair on top. Add 3 acacia trapdoors to this middle. Now, dodging a block, add 2 cyan terracotta and a polished deep slate stair on top. Again, these parts aren't necessary, they're just extra little details. Next, reselect your stone and add it along here. Next, select your acacia planks and add them here to create a second floor. Get your acacia stairs and place them along the wall here in order to create a staircase. And finally, as one last detail, add a blast furnace here with a polished deep slate wall on this side and on the other. And that is the build complete. I really hope this tutorial wasn't too difficult to follow. And I know some people are going to say this isn't exactly a starter house, but it does predominantly use materials that you can get at the start of the game. And this would only take a couple of hours to do. So if you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button. Tell me what starter house you'd like to see next. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.